lot of stories to tell about Jim. I'm not sure that most of them are suitable for the camera.
Jim Lackey is a serial entrepreneur. He has launched numerous ventures of his own, as well as acting as a mentor for others who are growing their own young ventures.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen his resume, his bio, his LinkedIn profile, his Twitter feed, his WhatsApp, his Facebook page, his Google+? He's been involved in everything in Nashville.
I had to visit a client up in Minnesota, and Jim said, "Oh, I know some of those folks, I'll go with you." I said, "That'd be great, Jim, it'd be fun to have you along." He goes, "No, I'll fly us up there."
Another thing I think Jim is just extremely successful at is building camaraderie amongst his teammates. And I think that when you look at the success of an executive, one way is to look at how his employees and those underneath him interact with him, speak about him. And again, I've never heard anybody talk negatively about Jim.
Well, I know Jim's a pilot, and he's never taken me up in his plane.
Jim's played a significant role in helping me start a venture and grow a venture. I started my business in 2001 and got to know Jim after I'd started the business. But he's been hugely helpful in just thinking about what is the strategy to grow the business, both in people, in branding, and in customers.
But I know he's taken Bo up in his plane.
Wow. Jim's plane was not the supersonic jet that I had envisioned.
So what gives Jim? Come on.
He will get folks to line up, a mile long behind him to help accomplish the task. And I think they want to follow him. They want to be led by him. And that is, I think that's something that's just kind of innate. It's really not something that you can learn to do. He's just a natural leader in that respect.
In fact, it had a red handle to pull if that would launch a parachute to save the whole plane if anything happened to Jim.
Jim is always quick with a smile, and he always reminds us to not take ourselves too seriously.
But on the way back, we hit tailwinds, and it was jostling around and everything, and I did my darndest to convince Jim that I was tired, when really I was about to throw up all over his plane. And I think once Jim learned that, he soundly stopped in St. Louis, of all places, and dropped me off and said, "You can get your own ride home."
Jim is a true supporter of the Healthcare Council and Leadership Healthcare. He never says no to any time that I ask him for support, to meet with young entrepreneurs, or to help us develop new events.
If I had to tell the whole world one thing about Jim, I would tell people just to listen to Jim. If you ask him a question, you get a really simple response that's filled with tremendous wisdom.
I remember once him telling me that I wasn't going to have a problem getting a new job. The problem was going to be me trying to choose which was the right job to take.
Jim Lackey is one of the reasons why Nashville is a special place and why our healthcare industry is so unique.
But Jim's words really stuck out to me, and that's made me really put him in the cream of the crop of Nashville healthcare executives.
Jim, the Leadership Legacy Award is so appropriate for you.
Congratulations, Jim. There is no one more deserving than you.
Jim, congratulations. It's well deserved.
Congratulations, Jim, on the Legacy Leadership Award. You truly deserve it.